Hi everyone, it's Hanan from I Deserve Couture. So for this video I wanted to do something different. As you know, I went to New York to see the Sleeping Beauties Reawakening fashion exhibit, and I have so much footage of the pieces there that I wanted to take you through a short tour of the exhibit, because I know that there's people that unfortunately do not have the chance to go to New York and see these pieces in person. So that's the reason why we're doing this. So before I start, make sure you subscribe to the channel. The red subscribe button is somewhere below here. So what I'm going to show you is 20 pieces that I found very interesting. There is so many pieces there. I think that there's 220 pieces in the whole exhibit, but I did not want to show you 220 because I don't want to spoil it for everybody out there. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel and enjoy your day. Bye. So this is the start of the Sleeping Beauties Reawakening fashion exhibit. And also, if you see some of the pieces in glass displays, that is normal. Those pieces are too fragile to be on a mannequin for an extended period of time. So the piece that opens this exhibit is by Charles Frederick Worth from 1887. As I said, this one is too fragile to be on a mannequin, but on the opposite side of this piece, you do have a projection of the same dress and how it would look when it moves, which is very interesting. The exhibit really has something from each period. For example, this one is from Alessandro Michele's Gucci, and this one is specifically from his fall 2017 collection. The cape is heavily embroidered with sequins, pearls, glass crystals in a pattern of a dove, cloud, and flowers. One of the more recent pieces is this Loewe piece from fall 2023. And after that, you have one of the most famous Dior dresses of all time, and it's the Miss Dior dress. If you follow Dior on social media, they constantly reference this dress. But this one's made of stone, and they encourage you to touch it. In the same room, we have the real dress, but the miniature version of it, and you can see all the details on this dress. One of the cooler pieces I've seen is this Irises jacket from Yves Saint Laurent from his spring 1988 collection. If you don't know why it's called Irises, it's because it references the painting by Van Gogh called Irises. Also, another fun fact, there's an equally beautiful jacket by Saint Laurent which was inspired by Van Gogh's sunflowers, and as you can see it on this picture, it was modeled by the one and only Naomi Campbell. After that, you find this cape with embroidered tulips by Charles Frederick Worth from 1889. This was actually one of the pieces that was in the announcement of the exhibit. But fun fact, this is also a piece that inspired Jonathan Anderson to create a coat for Anna Wintour for the Met Gala this year. After that, you get to see the rose section, which is inspired by the rose as the flower. And one of my favorite pieces in this section has to be this Dolce & Gabbana dress from Alta Moda 2024. If this looks familiar to you, you have probably seen it in the last few months because this is the dress Zendaya was wearing on the cover of American Vogue. And the next step is this dress by Charles James. It's called the Tulip dress. This dress is interesting because a couple of moments ago you saw Charles Frederick Worth being heavily influenced by the motive of flowers. But Charles James here is more influenced by the sculptural qualities of a flower. Trust me, no matter what the theme is at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, it is guaranteed you will see a couple of pieces from Charles James because that man was a hell of a designer. Now, this is one of the coolest pieces I've seen in this exhibit, and is this Marnie piece from spring 2024. The flowers are referencing orchids, dahlias, and tulips, but they're all made out of copper and silver aluminium. This dress was also one of the inspiration for Nicki Minaj's Met Gala look. Now, one more thing that is super cool about this exhibit is the fact that it relies on your senses. So for example, when you come to this piece, you will hear the sound of this piece moving in the background. It is a recording that is projected on a speaker, so just so you can understand it better, I will shut up now and let you hear. After that, we also have pieces from Viktor and Rolf, and this is from their spring 2015 collection. And there are several pieces from McQueen, one of them being this piece from Sarah Burton's fall 2021 collection. This was inspired by flowers, but whenever I see this, I remember the beautiful pictures from Paolo Roversi. One thing that caught me off guard when it comes to this exhibit is how many hats there were, and on top of it all, how many Schiaparelli hats there were. Next up, you get to this selection which has all yellow pieces. It suggests a garden of sunny blooms, and hands down my favorite piece is this spectacular yellow dress from Albert Elbaz when he was in Lanvin from his spring 2008 collection. After that, you have this Christian Dior dress, which is a stunner. It is from 1952 and it's called Villemorand. And this is one of those pieces that make you stop and stare because you cannot imagine how many beautiful daisies there are on this piece. In his biography, Christian Dior said that he inherited passion for flowers from his mother, which meant that he was at his happiest among plants and flowers. Yes, this is definitely a little Loewe. There are 2 Loewe pieces from the same collection. This was from the spring 2023. You get to see them up close, and honestly, they're so cool. It's so cool to see these pieces in person. I immediately think of Taylor Russell wearing these. So as I said before, the exhibit really relies on your senses, and there are several walls that you're supposed to rub and then smell to get the smell of the garment that is on display. Super impressive, honestly. Now, I am betting a lot of money that this is Anna Wintour's favorite piece in this whole collection, because it is from her friend Karl Lagerfeld for Chanel, and this is from his 2006 Couture collection. It's such a super impressive piece because the motifs that you see are like leaves, snails, and insects, and they're all embroidered. Really a piece that you're going to admire. After that, we get to see another super popular piece in the recent history, and this is from Undercover. And what I love about this piece is the way that they displayed it. The brightness of the light inside of a dress goes from very strong to very low, so you really can get the whole picture of what this dress is all about. After that, we have another McQueen piece, and this is of course by Sarah Burton. So the section that we're currently in is inspired by insects, and then you see this McQueen dress and this skirt, and you wonder and admire how much work goes into this piece. Now, one of my favorite pieces at this exhibit is this dress by Albert Elbaz, again from his L'Enfant time, and this is from fall 2013. Now look at these insects. They're all made of plastic, but they're sewn onto the dress. The proportion, the placement of them, the colors, the way that they look, it is spectacular. Another stunner by Alexander McQueen, and this is from Sarah Burton from fall 2011. And honestly, this dress I think became one of the most talked about dresses at the Met Gala, because the question was if anybody's going to wear it. You see all the butterflies, and honestly, this is one of the most iconic pieces in the fashion history in my opinion. Couple of dresses down, and we're continuing with Alexander McQueen pieces, and there are 2 pieces from Plato's Atlantis which have a special place in my heart because this was the first fashion show I ever saw. If you're wondering if they have armadillo shoes on display, unfortunately they don't. They did speak about them on social media, and I was looking forward to seeing them, but unfortunately they're not in this exhibit. I spent like 10 minutes in front of these 2 pieces because I could not help myself. You admire the silhouette, the printing, and you realize how innovative McQueen really was. Now opposite of him are 2 Iris Van Herpen dresses. The one on the right is from the spring summer 2020 collection. And speaking of Iris Van Herpen, here you see one of the earlier pieces from Van Herpen. Now let me tell you something about this piece. This piece went viral before viral was a thing. This is called the snake dress from fall 2011. And after that, you have a couple of pieces from Thom Browne, Michael Kors, and the dress that is closing this exhibit is by Calosseur. And if it looks familiar, yes, this is the dress that Balenciaga recreated for their brand ambassador Isabelle Huppert. And here you can see her on the Met Gala steps, and there's actually a short that I did about this specific dress. Now with all that being said, this is such a small portion of the exhibit. As I said before, it has 220 pieces, and you have seen maybe like 20 in this. So if you have the opportunity, definitely check it out. You will see some remarkable pieces. You will see Ronald van der Kemp. You will see more Alexander McQueen. You will see Mary Katranzu. It is definitely worth going and seeing it with your own eyes. I made this video for people that unfortunately do not have the chance to go and see the exhibit in person. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel and stay amazing. Bye.